Hello everybody, welcome back to our Let's Look At series. Today we're going to be looking at something that you've probably not heard of, a game called ICEY. Now, I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen many people cover this game at all. It is actually really good, and we're just staying in the pause menu here because I'm pretty sure as soon as I hit start, some crazy stuff will go down. But yeah, I haven't seen any coverage of this game anywhere, even on like the big channels out there. You know, maybe Total Biscuit's done something, but apart from that, I can't think of anyone else. So I'm just gonna launch it here and get into it, and I'll tell you a little bit about it after this opening cutscene plays. Hopefully, the opening cutscene does actually play, and I've not done something horribly wrong. But we'll see how it goes. Ah, okay. So we're just getting right into the game. I have played about an hour and a half of this so far, but I haven't really I haven't explored too much, and I can't remember how it goes. So yeah, this is ICEY. This is who you are. You're essentially this strange cyborg lady, and as you can probably tell by the screen layout here and everything else, it's sort of a side-scrolling beat-em-up action game with some RPG elements in it. You know, all your fairly standard stuff here. Alright, we're in the Lost Woods right now. Press B to upgrade. So yeah, it's basically a beat 'em up, as you can see with those little cutscene videos there. You progress through the world, and you essentially just attack enemies. You got your light attacks and your heavy attacks. I am playing on the 360 controller because you're just a little bit mental if you you're a little bit crazy if you decide to do this on keyboard. That's absolutely mental. It is on Steam. Oh, this is the finisher move here. Basically, you do that and it gives you a bit of HP back afterwards. So, yeah, it's standard beat 'em up stuff. You progress through the world, you beat up enemies, and your goal is to defeat Judas. He is sort of the evil overlord, which destroyed the world and made it look the way it is. The entire world seems to be like populated by robots, but there is evidence of, you know, human society. Oh, we can't backtrack there. I'll explain why in a little bit. So there is evidence of it looking like standard world. Like here, yeah, you can see like that's a very poorly rendered like dummy. That's a bit odd, but it looks like some kind of post-apocalyptic thing where robots have taken over, maybe some sort of Terminator style of thing. So yeah, you're ICEY. You gotta go through and defeat robots and save the world and all that good stuff. Fairly standard stuff, so why am I covering it? Well, after we get through this tutorial, I'm hoping we'll get a bit of an example of it. Man, these enemies are incredibly easy, even for me, and you know I am terrible at video games. Oh, don't get back here. You don't get to escape the wrath of my laser blade. You know, laser blade's like a razor blade, but made of light. Okay. Oh no, it's Silent Hell! Sorry, that's it's like a really bad pun. I don't know if that's like a reference or something, but use heavy attacks to break through enemy shields. Okay, I mean I have just been spamming X the entire time. There's also, you can just sort of stand behind this dude and then like jump over him, and then, oh no, he's shielded now. Press B. So yeah, you can see there's sort of a variety of different sort of monsters that you fight, and as you progress through the game, you obviously encounter boss battles and different enemies, and it gets harder. I suppose I don't want to spoil the main thing until we sort of come across it naturally here, but I think you gotta go through this tutorial level first. How do we inspect this, or is it just, it looks like it's just background. Oh, it's a hard light bridge. It's very Portal 2-y. Yeah. I suppose I should tell you, this is published by a Chinese publisher actually, and that will become more apparent later. Press X to absorb, oh, hold X to absorb energy. I forgot how you did that. Damage increases, absorb more energy crystals. Yes, it's published by a Chinese developer. It's a Shanghai Phantom Blade Network Technology. That is a bit of a mouthful. I had to write that down. That is the developers, and it's published by XD Network. Yeah, what can I say? The mechanics are solid, and everything is as it should be until you I think you dash by, what is it now? There is a dash button. It's probably bumper. Yeah, there we go. The standard dash button. It is in every game. I'm just wondering how long this tutorial level is, because I didn't actually check. Do we have anything we can upgrade? No, these are all way too expensive. Yeah, I'm trying to delay the inevitable here because there is sort of an interesting mechanic, but I don't want to just go out and say it. I kind of want to let the game... Here we go. This looks like a cutscene. Or is it? Wow, look at them guns on that guy. Use A? Oh, it's A jumps, buddy. This looks like the end of the tutorial here. We're just beat big circle gunman. Yeah, as you can probably tell, the art style is sort of inspired by a lot of like 3D mech anime kind of style thing. You know, your Aldana Zeros and, you know, maybe not Garen Lugan, that's, you know, Studio Trigger have a very unique style, but yeah, it's got that kind of Asian art style, which is what you'd expect from sort of, from a Chinese publisher, I guess. You know, they do have a very distinct look about them. But I think it looks nice, actually. That kind of watercolor background, combined with sort of these sort of simple shaded vector art style, you know, anime things. Everything looks very kind of chic and sort of futuristic in the foreground, and that clashes nicely because, you know, you get the kind of disparity between the natural world in the background and the chic new world in the foreground, and I think it works quite well, actually. Man, that finisher move. If that isn't anime, I don't know what is. Oh my god, why won't you die? Oh, you're just... I must go now, my planet needs me. Oh my god. Oh, you're back, okay. Oh, he's a big gun, I can't move. Okay. Alright then, well it looks like we were killed. I think that is just the intro to the cutscene though, so let's have a look here. Yeah, and here we go. Here is the interesting part of the game. Now, if you're familiar with games like Pony Island and the Stanley Parable, you will know what a meta-narrative is, and I think this is the reason I'm so excited about this, and I'm so surprised no one has said anything. So as you can see, someone is hacking into my CRT monitor here. Ooh, that's some code. Fix bin. Please fix bin. Repair failed. ICEY. So, yeah, it's kind of a meta-narrative, so I'll kind of let it, you know, let it do its thing here. But here we go. Here's the README file. A very small percentage of individuals may experience epileptic seizures when exposing to flashing lights in this experiment. So there is this sort of pretense that the whole thing you just saw before you is actually an experiment run by a company. So here you go. System interface is a self-regulating artificial intelligence system developed by Fantablade. So obviously the developers of the studio are also the developers of the ICEY experiment in-game. Fantablade reserves the right to final interpretation, Any disputes or damages caused by the system are the responsibility of the system interface itself, as Fantablade has no liability for such matters. So as you can see, we've sort of given this pretense of having to fight Judas and sort of beat these monsters up, but then you've also got this extra layer on top of it, and it kind of develops a little as well, sort of go into it. So yeah, very reminiscent of games like Pony Island, and you'll see the Stanley Parable connections in just a little bit here. This is sort of the, I don't want to say hub world, but you do visit this location a number of times throughout the game, and I think this is meant to be sort of where you are, and it's not always immediately apparent what's going on. Are you ICEY the robot? Are you someone who's sitting at home playing on a computer controlling ICEY the robot, like viewing it from a remote location, kind of like the movie Gamer? If anyone's seen that, please don't see that movie. It is absolutely horrible. But yeah, it's not entirely clear what's going on right away. Like all these freaky eye things in the background are also kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, what is exactly going on? I don't know. Are you a Heron21? For those of you who want to add me on Steam. Yes, I am. Actually, what happens if I say no? So here you go. You can see the sort of meta-narrative coming in here. Did you take off the mask? Oh, did we take off the mask? I'm not currently wearing a mask, so I'll say yes. Do you prefer a more difficult journey? Definitely not. No. Please make it easy. In an adventure, are battles more important than story? Well, I think you're going to learn a bit about me here. No, they are not. The story is the most important thing. Alright. So you can see the sort of, the game likes to interact with you in an interesting way, and it looks like we've been brought back to the start menu here, but have we really? Well, let's find out. Oh, Oh, there's a bit of a bug going on there. Let's try continue again. Oh, no. Oh. See? It's interesting, isn't it?
In the middle of a dark, quiet room, filled only by the sounds of humming machines, a figure floats, suspended. She, ICEY, has no memories, no past. Memories to her are not important. Her existence only serves one purpose: to kill Judas.
Oh.
That wicked devil, the bringer of the apocalypse. No matter how many difficulties or obstacles she will face, ICEY understands that she must accomplish her mission.
It's such a generic, like, anime story. I love it. But this is the thing.
Destroy Judas. In the darkness, ICEY awakes.
Hold Y to start game, please. You know, I'm gonna hold X and see if anything happens. No, you're gonna make me do that? Okay. Yeah, I think you can tell by now.
ICEY has left the laboratory. She understands that as long as she follows the arrow, she will discover where Judas is hiding.
Okay. So, as you can probably tell, and I'm going to try and talk in between the narrator here.
More soldiers sit by Judas to stop ICEY. Kill them.
It's so good. So, yeah, as you can tell, there's this sort of overbearing narrator that sort of holds your hand throughout the game, but it's entirely your choice whether or not to obey him. I wonder if we can just run past this guy. No, you're gonna block the way until... Alright. Interestingly, when I first played this game, they only had the Chinese narrator with subtitles, and personally, I think that works. I think this is fine, but I think it sort of gives you a bit of a different feeling about the whole thing. You know? Oh, monsters. Let's... I'm a pacifist, sorry.
ICEY reaches a quiet hill, illuminated by light dancing off of the lake below. She is at peace.
Yeah, so you get this kind of, oh no, she is at peace. What a time for monsters to spawn and cause the peace to be interrupted. Yeah, you can see the sort of overbearing narrator, just like the Stanley Parable. He's sort of forcing your hand to go for a separate path, but the beautiful thing about this game is you don't have to listen to him at all, and that's why I keep trying to disobey him here and sort of do my own thing, because as much as he'd like to think that he is in control, you don't have to listen to him at all. You can really go on your own path, and it's very interesting as you sort of progress in later stages of the game how different the story is if you just keep ignoring him. You know, and I keep saying Stanley Parable, but it really is an apt comparison. You know, the number of different endings to that game based on your level of cooperation with the narrator. It really makes it interesting, and it kind of sets it apart from your standard beat 'em up, and I think this is where the real game comes into play. You know, it really is a story-driven game with this sort of illusion of it being a very simple
There
beat 'em
seems to
up.
be a console that will activate the photon bridge. ICEY moves to activate it.
Right, so here, for example, if I just don't activate it...
ICEY slips off the edge of the cliff. ICEY is absolutely positive that the only way to cross the ravine is by activating the photon bridge.
You know what, I'm going to disagree with you there. I think I can dash across... Oh,
For some unknown reason, ICEY insisted on jumping into the ravine. She didn't realize that she has to press a button to activate the bridge. ICEY finally understands how to activate the photon bridge. Using the bridge, she will certainly have no need to jump into the ravine again. What? You jumped again? God, why did you jump down there again? You have zero common sense. Wait, don't panic. There's something I wanted to ask you.
ask away.
Are you messing with me? I told you time after time. It couldn't be any more simple. All you had to do was walk over there and press the button. Just walk slowly, press the button. Why do you insist on jumping over and over? I've never met anyone like you, refusing to acknowledge my advice. Don't you know this is an action game? Your main goal is to go kill monsters. Don't you get that? You know, you shouldn't jump into ravines over and over, right? I can't be your guide if you won't listen. You get that, right? Trust me.
Oh
If
my
you continue
God.
like this, your story will only end tragically. I'll stop scolding you for now. I trust you know how to act from here on out, yes? Let's try this again.
Okay, so I think I'm just gonna pause that there. So I think you get the idea behind it. If you liked that interaction just now, then this is totally the game for you. It's very funny, it's interesting, and that's sort of a bit of foreshadowing there. Oh, it'll only end tragically if you don't obey what he's saying there. So I think you get the idea. This is, as to counter to what he says, this is not just a simple beat 'em up. You do not just go and kill monsters. There is something else at play here. And I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I really like the journey so far. Um, yeah, it's interesting, and I honestly think if what you saw right there was interesting enough for you to at least pick it up, then I would say go for it. I'd say even stop watching this right now and go check it out because it is only $8.99 on Steam, so I think it's definitely worth looking into. But I'll go forward a bit here and we'll sort of go into more detailing, show a little bit more of it. I think that's not too bad. Alright, more monsters. Now I wonder, this is something I've been trying to do because, yeah, okay. If you play games like Undertale, you know that there are sort of, I've yet to see a game reflect sort of Undertale's pacifist playthrough style where you don't actually have to fight anything, you can instead just sort of communicate them. For a while I was thinking, oh, maybe ICEY is doing something similar, but it doesn't seem to be the case to that degree, but there is definitely some sort of, higher order thing happening above the sort of the simple, you know, overtone that it sets. And I think that's why I like it a lot, because it kind of takes that, the ludonarrative dissonance that happens with a lot of games, you know, Bioshock 1 being the prime example of, oh, don't kill anything, but actually, oh, I feel so bad about killing as I slay millions of helpless people before me. You know, I think games like Undertale specifically sort of they sort of take that concept and sort of turn it on its head. And again, I think that's what ICEY is doing here, where you're taking this concept of the gameplay not necessarily matching the story that it's telling, and you're kind of having fun with it by having it so that you're sort of messing with the story as well as the gameplay. So it's
A
sort of,
disgusting
oh,
swamp rests, unmoving, in front of ICEY. She must carefully jump across.
you know, there's something about the tone of the narrator that just makes you want to just disobey him completely. I think it's the way he doesn't even say please or thank you. So you know what? No, I don't want to jump across safely.
ICEY slipped and fell right into the sewage.
Yeah, we did take that. You know, and I think it's almost encouraging you to disobey him. It's sort of saying, hey, don't listen to this guy. Do your own thing because this is a game, not a movie. You know, the experience is yours to create. So let's.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean? I mean, I feel bad, but you know, rule of three. Let's see.
ICEY fell again. God, are you so clumsy that you can't even make it over?
Whoa, trippy. Apologies for people who have like epilepsy or something. That it's quite a visual effect right there. But yeah, I think the game is encouraging you to sort of oh, that was surprising. I'm curious. If I dash over, dash back. No, okay. Yeah, I think the game's sort of prodding you a little bit to try and say, hey, you know, you don't have to. We'll get an upgrade here. Brutal Blade, sure, that looks fun. So you got the X, 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 Y combo. That's quite a combo, jeez. It's also, we only have 26? I thought we had 76, so I'm just reading it wrong. Yeah, the game's prodding you to try and experiment
ICEY
a
arrives
little.
in the moonlight forest. In front of her waits Daha. Wait, where's the bridge?
Yeah, where is the bridge? Didn't we get killed by Big Machine Gun Man here?
Just keep following the arrow.
You got it, buddy. I mean, I'm not going to. Whoa, that's cool. I never actually saw this first round, but this is quite interesting. Whee.
ICEY jumps down. It seems like this is an old sewer.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's much else for me to say here, but I'm gonna try and explore a little bit, see if there's one bit I can get you guys to see. I don't remember how far along it is though, so if I don't get there after like 5 minutes, I'm probably gonna not do that. These eye enemies are very frustrating because they kind of just. There we go. It's not so bad when there's one, but when there's like a few, it's really annoying. Wow, I love that bee attack. You can chain them as well, which is beautiful. Why would you design a robot whose like only attack feature is like an axe on its head? I am pressing B here, it's just not proccing. Because like, surely that would just, like, why not just give it a gun? Like, that's gotta be a lot easier, right? But I guess it looks cool, and that's why. Wow.
This place is littered with wreckage. ICEY feels that this place wasn't always a sewer. And who is to blame? Judas.
They're really harping on that. This world was a beautiful place, but now it's horrible because of this one evil man you must stop at all costs, and I love it. You know, I love that really clumsy exposition as well. ICEY feels this wasn't always a sewer. Like, it's the complete opposite of how traditional storytelling goes, where they make it apparent through the level design and sort of dialogue, but here it's just like, no, we're just gonna tell you how it is, and I really love how self-aware it is and how.
Jumps down into a giant cavern.
Oh, we did jump down. I keep trying to dash across. There is one point where you can dash across and completely break the progression of the game by essentially skipping like an entire stage. I did it on my first playthrough actually by accident because I was just running through, mashing dash to get past everything as fast as I could, and I accidentally dashed through like a wall. Like, essentially a door was closing and I dashed through it by accident and ended up in this totally different area, and the narrator got very mad at me, to say the least. But I think that's what's so great about this game. It really, it's an open world. Well, I don't want to say open world. It's a more open and exploratory game than it likes to let on, and I think that's that really works in its favor here. And obviously, as you unlock more abilities, you actually sort of gain more ways to sort of break through the world. Like, there's an ability that lets you dash through plates like this. You know, your dash ability now works to go through walls, and that really messes.
The arrow through and passes through the gate.
Why would you ever narrate that? This is worse than the Pepper Pig narrator. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, watch like 5 minutes of Pepper Pig and you'll know what I mean. But my god. Yeah, so you get like abilities that almost help you break the game more, in a sense. Like, originally they're always meant to overcome challenges within the game, but they're very clearly there to help you sort of do your own thing and ignore the narrator as much as possible.
Senses that the key to her escape is somewhere in front of her.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, would I say the narration is as good as the Stanley Parable? Obviously not, but I am, I am sort of sensitive to sort of a British narrator. I don't know, there's something about the dry wit and the humor that comes across in the Stanley Parable, but I still think it's here in spades. So here we go, first boss battle area. I'm probably going to stop it just after we get through this. There is kind of a bigger thing coming up just ahead that I don't want to spoil, and it looks like I won't be able to get to the other bit I was going to show you. So we'll beat the life out of these robots here before we go forward. Take that eyeball. Oh my god. Waves upon waves. Yeah, I should mention that the game is very satisfying to play. I mean, I'm essentially just mashing X, and whenever the B prompt comes up, I'm just, I'm pressing that. And it really, I think it helps, especially because, you know, at the start there was asking what's more important, gameplay or story. I think it's sort of an interesting way of adjusting the difficulty of it. But I basically...
discovers a special treasure chest.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, this is one of the other mechanics. You sort of beat the crap out of this, and it gives you new abilities, I believe. Or levels.
A strange mark flashes across her eyes.
Okay.
ICEY's dash ability has grown stronger.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier, where it lets you dash in multiple directions and sort of multiple times now. And then that progresses again later to help you dash through walls.
She can probably even escape from this damned underground labyrinth. ICEY decides to immediately return to...
Oh. Ah, here we go. The plot thickens. just let it type out here. Attempting to find the chosen one is as difficult as finding a needle in a haystack. My time is limited. Jesus has tampered with the Necronomicon and has announced he intends to sacrifice his physical body to cast his self into the virtual world. His goal, to create a child of God. The chosen one, as planned, has been born. +8 to view details, press B to close. So this is interesting. There is this sort of second unknown, I was going to keep the secret, but apparently I can't anymore. There is this sort of secret unknown messenger who interrupts the game constantly, and he sort of gives you alternative ways through the world, sort of against the narrator's wishes. So as you can see, this is the level we were in before. I wonder, can I use my mouse on screen if you can see this? If not, I'm sorry. There's sort of this middle canyon with the waves at the bottom. And then we came from the trophy is basically where we're supposed to go, but he's telling us, hey, if you go and dash up here and to the right, you'll be able to go through and encounter something else. So there you go. I'm just going to pause it here to stop any further progression. So yeah, there is this sort of there's almost this ongoing battle between the narrator and the messenger, and it really is interesting. I was going to keep it secret for you guys, but I guess now you know. That's that's kind of, it's not a spoiler though. I think you sort of you almost get more out of it because you sort of know what you're getting into. The gameplay is interesting and fun. It's really nice to play through, and I think it really works in its favor. Um, and obviously, the real story, I think, is the this sort of narrative between the narrator, the messenger, and Judas, who all seem to have sort of consciousness in the game, and sort of consciousness outside the game itself and into the meta game. And I think you, as ICEY, also are a part of that. So it's almost like a sort of an exchange between four characters, which is really interesting. So just quickly, negatives. I guess the only one I can really point out right now is the English narrator, in my opinion, wasn't as good as the Chinese narrator with subtitles. The Chinese narrator was brilliant because he just had so much emphasis, you know, in that kind of that sort of anime style thing where he's just sort of like really, really angry at you, and it's quite funny. So I would recommend if you are going to play this game, definitely put the Chinese narrator on. I just thought it might help too. And I was interested to see what the English narrator was like. But yeah, this is ICEY. Pick it up on Steam today. It is only $8.99. Yeah, if you like what you see here, definitely I would recommend it. I don't do rating systems, but I mean, from what I can tell, it seems like it's going to be a really good game. So, as always, I'm Alex from RPG.com, and I will see you guys next time.